When Rick Thompson became Detroit's most trusted auto mechanic, customers relied on him to keep their cars running safely. But when his cocaine addiction and insurance fraud schemes consumed him, he began sabotaging brakes and murdering witnesses who discovered his crimes, turning routine repairs into deadly road accidents. Before starting the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Now, let's get back to the video. The Michigan winter wind howled through Detroit's industrial corridors as Rick Thompson organized his automotive tools and diagnostic equipment for what would become the most dangerous car repair of his 19-year career as the Midwest's most experienced automotive mechanic and collision specialist. At 45 years old, Rick had established himself as Detroit's premier auto mechanic, specializing in high-end vehicle repairs and classic car restoration that attracted wealthy collectors, luxury car owners, and automotive enthusiasts who valued his expertise in complex mechanical systems and his reputation for restoring vehicles to showroom condition. Rick's automotive shop occupied a converted warehouse in Detroit's Corktown district, featuring state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment, premium automotive tools, and specialized lifts for handling the intricate repair challenges common in both modern luxury vehicles and vintage automotive classics. His clientele included automotive executives whose expensive imports required expert knowledge of European engineering, classic car collectors whose vintage restorations demanded authentic parts and traditional techniques, and wealthy professionals whose luxury vehicles represented substantial investments requiring the highest level of mechanical expertise. The interior of Rick's garage reflected his mastery of automotive technology and his understanding of discerning customers' expectations for both repair excellence and vehicle reliability, featuring walls lined with automotive certifications, photographs of completed restoration projects, and testimonials from grateful clients whose vehicles had been saved from catastrophic mechanical failure through his diagnostic skills and attention to detail. His service bays contained professional-grade equipment, premium replacement parts, and insurance documentation, emphasizing his commitment to quality repairs and customer safety. But beneath Rick's reputation for automotive excellence lay a dangerous combination of cocaine addiction, systematic insurance fraud, and calculated murder that had transformed his repair services into criminal enterprises where threatening customers and suspicious investigators met their fate through deliberate mechanical sabotage and engineered vehicle failures. "Good morning, Rick," said Catherine Sterling, his 10 o'clock appointment and a 58-year-old pharmaceutical executive whose luxury Mercedes had been experiencing recurring brake problems, despite multiple expensive repairs that Rick claimed required specialized parts and extensive labor due to the vehicle's complex European engineering systems. Catherine had grown suspicious of the repeated failures after consulting with Mercedes dealership technicians who suggested her brake problems should have been resolved with simpler, less expensive repairs. "Good morning, Mrs. Sterling," Rick replied with the mechanical authority and automotive expertise that had made him legendary among Detroit's luxury car owners who viewed him as both craftsman and engineering specialist, capable of diagnosing the most complex automotive problems while providing reliable repairs that enhanced both vehicle performance and safety. "I've identified the root cause of your brake issues, and today I'll be installing the premium brake components that will finally give you the stopping power and reliability your Mercedes was designed to provide." Catherine had become Rick's most dangerous customer, not because of her demanding repair expectations or her expensive vehicle's complexity, but because of her recent discovery of substandard parts and her growing awareness of the insurance fraud operation that Rick had been conducting while supposedly providing legitimate automotive repair services. What Catherine didn't know was that Rick had been systematically defrauding customers and murdering suspicious clients for over 5 years, using his mechanical expertise and access to vehicle safety systems to sabotage cars while collecting insurance payouts when brake failures and steering malfunctions caused fatal accidents. Rick's transformation from skilled mechanic to calculating killer had begun 7 years earlier, when his cocaine addiction had escalated from recreational use at Detroit's underground party scene to daily dependency that consumed his automotive business profits, and forced him into desperate relationships with organized crime figures who controlled Michigan's drug distribution networks. His addiction had grown to cost over $600 per day, while his declining work quality had reduced his legitimate income as customers began experiencing repeated mechanical failures and seeking alternative repair services. Faced with mounting debts and potential bankruptcy, Rick had begun using his mechanical expertise to conduct systematic insurance fraud operations, deliberately sabotaging vehicle safety systems to cause accidents that would generate insurance claims while using overpriced repairs and unnecessary services to maximize profits from unsuspecting customers who trusted his automotive expertise. His criminal activities had escalated when several customers had discovered evidence of deliberate sabotage and had threatened to report their suspicions to automotive licensing authorities and law enforcement agencies investigating insurance fraud patterns targeting luxury vehicle owners. Rick had murdered his first victim, a wealthy businessman who had detected deliberately weakened brake lines, by staging a fatal vehicle accident using sabotaged steering components during what appeared to be routine test driving following repair completion. The success of his first murder had convinced Rick that eliminating suspicious customers and collecting insurance benefits was both necessary for protecting his fraud operation and extremely profitable when combined with sophisticated mechanical sabotage that made vehicle failures appear as random automotive accidents rather than deliberate murder. Over the following 5 years, Rick had murdered 11 additional individuals using various automotive sabotage methods that took advantage of his mechanical knowledge, his access to vehicle safety systems during repair work, and his ability to stage deaths as traffic accidents or mechanical failures that would not attract detailed investigation by overwhelmed traffic safety agencies. His victims had been carefully selected based on their discovery of his fraudulent activities, their valuable insurance policies, and their driving patterns that made fatal accidents easier to stage and attribute to mechanical failure or driver error. His victims had included Dr. Robert Martinez, an automotive engineer who had discovered evidence of brake sabotage and whose vehicle inspection had resulted in fatal accident from deliberately modified steering systems. Jennifer Chen, a luxury car owner who had reported suspicious repair practices and whose vehicle had experienced catastrophic brake failure on a busy freeway. And David Williams, an insurance investigator who had been tracking automotive fraud and whose test drive consultation had ended in fatal collision from rigged acceleration systems. Rick, I need to discuss some serious concerns about vehicle accidents and reports of insurance fraud connected to your automotive repair services, said Detective Lisa Rodriguez of the Detroit Police Department's Vehicular Crimes Division, as she arrived at Rick's garage carrying warrants to inspect his equipment and interview him about suspicious activities. Detective Rodriguez specialized in investigating automotive fraud and had developed expertise in recognizing patterns of deliberate mechanical sabotage that exploited vehicle owners' trust and automotive system vulnerabilities. Detective Rodriguez's investigation represented an existential threat to Rick's criminal operation, as her law enforcement expertise and access to automotive fraud databases could expose the systematic sabotage operations and connect him to multiple suspicious vehicle accidents and customer deaths. Of course, Detective Rodriguez, Rick replied, though he felt the familiar surge of cocaine-induced paranoia and criminal desperation that accompanied any official scrutiny of his automotive operations by law enforcement officers who possessed the training and resources to detect evidence of mechanical sabotage and systematic murder disguised as vehicle accidents or automotive failures. Vehicle safety and repair integrity are always my highest priorities, and I want to cooperate with any investigation that might help protect drivers and ensure that automotive services operate according to all applicable safety standards and professional regulations. Detective Rodriguez consulted detailed reports from accident reconstruction specialists and insurance fraud investigators that showed patterns of mechanical failures and vehicle deaths that suggested systematic sabotage rather than random automotive hazards or legitimate repair accidents during routine automotive maintenance work. "Rick, I've been investigating reports of vehicle accidents and insurance fraud that appear to be connected to cars that you've serviced or repaired," Detective Rodriguez said, with the investigative precision that had made her successful in solving complex automotive crime cases. 11 individuals who were customers of your automotive repair business have died in vehicle accidents involving mechanical failures, with several of these deaths occurring immediately after the victims had questioned repair costs or had expressed concerns about suspicious automotive work during their service visits. The detective's identification of the sabotage patterns and her recognition of the timing correlation between customer complaints and vehicle accidents confirmed Rick's worst fears that his criminal activities had been analyzed and connected to his systematic elimination of suspicious clients and deliberate engineering of automotive failures for insurance fraud. Rick's response was swift and deadly as he realized that eliminating Detective Rodriguez was essential for protecting his criminal enterprise and preventing exposure of his systematic automotive fraud and murder operations. "Detective Rodriguez, I think there may be some misunderstanding about the inherent complexity of modern automotive systems and the unfortunate reality that vehicle accidents can occur despite proper repair procedures and professional expertise," Rick said, while discreetly reaching for a modified pneumatic impact wrench that he had weaponized to deliver fatal blunt force trauma through compressed air mechanisms for emergency elimination of law enforcement threats. "Perhaps we could examine some specific repair installations where I can demonstrate the safety procedures that might explain these tragic accidents. Automotive repair involves complex engineering systems that might appear suspicious to those unfamiliar with modern vehicle technology and mechanical safety protocols." Detective Rodriguez agreed to examine Rick's automotive work, not realizing that the mechanic was leading her to an isolated area of the garage where previous murders had been committed and where Rick planned to kill her using his weaponized impact wrench during what would appear to be accidental contact with automotive equipment. Rick's plan involved convincing Detective Rodriguez to examine specific mechanical systems while explaining repair procedures, then using his modified impact wrench to deliver fatal injuries that would appear to be accidental contact with automotive tools rather than deliberate assault by a mechanic protecting his fraud operations. But Rick's carefully planned murder of the detective was about to be prevented by the unexpected arrival of federal agents who had been investigating drug trafficking networks and had identified connections to his automotive business. Special Agent Jennifer Walsh of the DEA's Organized Crime Division had been conducting a comprehensive investigation into cocaine trafficking and addiction-related fraud that exploited legitimate automotive businesses to launder drug money and eliminate potential witnesses to criminal activities. Agent Walsh specialized in investigating drug-related automotive crimes and had developed expertise in tracking criminal repair operations that were used to facilitate drug trafficking and witness elimination. The federal investigation had been initiated by reports from multiple financial institutions and automotive regulators who had noticed patterns of suspicious financial transactions and vehicle-related deaths that suggested organized criminal networks were using automotive businesses to launder drug proceeds while eliminating threats to their operations. Agent Walsh had been conducting surveillance of Rick's drug procurement activities and automotive fraud operations and had documented evidence of systematic cocaine use, involvement in insurance fraud, and suspicious patterns of customer deaths that suggested his mechanical expertise was being used for organized criminal activity rather than legitimate automotive services. "Rick Thompson, I'm Special Agent Walsh with the DEA," she announced as she entered the garage bay where Rick was preparing to murder Detective Rodriguez. "I have federal warrants for your arrest on charges of drug trafficking, systematic insurance fraud, conspiracy to commit murder, and multiple counts of first-degree murder related to your systematic exploitation of automotive repair services for criminal activities and elimination of potential witnesses." Rick's reaction to the federal agent's intervention was a combination of mechanical authority confusion and desperate attempts to maintain his automotive credibility, as he realized that law enforcement agencies at multiple levels had been investigating his drug activities and had connected them to systematic customer murders and organized automotive fraud. His carefully maintained reputation as a skilled mechanic had failed to protect him from comprehensive investigation by agencies with expertise in drug-related crimes and automotive fraud. Special Agent Walsh, there must be some serious misunderstanding about legitimate automotive repair work and the complex diagnostic challenges involved in modern vehicle maintenance that requires specialized knowledge and premium replacement parts, Rick said frantically while abandoning his plan to attack Detective Rodriguez and attempting to preserve some semblance of professional credibility despite the overwhelming evidence against his criminal activities. I am a certified automotive technician with 19 years of experience providing repair services for Detroit's most sophisticated vehicles and discriminating customers. All of my automotive work complies with established safety standards and manufacturer specifications designed to ensure vehicle reliability and driver safety. Detective Rodriguez looked absolutely shocked as she realized how close she had come to being murdered by the mechanic she had been investigating for automotive fraud. Her vehicular crimes investigation had not only exposed Rick's systematic sabotage and murder operation, but it also prevented her own death at the hands of a killer who had been using automotive services as cover for systematic elimination of customers and law enforcement threats. The comprehensive investigation that followed Rick's arrest revealed the full scope of his criminal enterprise and the sophisticated methods he had developed to exploit automotive expertise for systematic fraud and murder. Forensic analysis of Rick's automotive operations revealed extensive evidence of his fraud activities, including sophisticated tools for mechanical sabotage, stockpiles of substandard replacement parts, and detailed records showing coordination between deliberate vehicle failures and insurance claim processing. His garage contained weaponized automotive equipment, cocaine trafficking documentation, and comprehensive files containing information on wealthy vehicle owners who had been targeted for systematic fraud and murder. The investigation also uncovered Rick's connections to organized crime figures who had been coordinating drug trafficking and money laundering operations while using his automotive business to eliminate potential witnesses to their criminal activities through vehicle sabotage and staged traffic accidents. Most disturbing was the discovery of Rick's detailed knowledge of automotive safety systems and crash dynamics, which he had used to identify optimal methods for causing fatal vehicle accidents while concealing evidence of deliberate sabotage through techniques that made mechanical failures appear as manufacturing defects or maintenance oversights. Rick Thompson was ultimately convicted of 12 counts of first-degree murder, systematic automotive fraud, drug trafficking, conspiracy to commit organized criminal enterprise activities, and numerous other charges related to his exploitation of automotive repair services for criminal activities and elimination of potential witnesses. The conviction sent unprecedented shockwaves throughout Detroit's automotive repair industry, prompting immediate reforms in mechanic licensing, vehicle inspection protocols, and drug addiction prevention measures designed to protect vehicle owners from exploitation by trusted automotive professionals involved in criminal activities. Several other mechanics and automotive repair shops were investigated for similar criminal activities, resulting in enhanced oversight of repair operations and new requirements for parts verification, safety inspection, and customer protection measures that made it more difficult for criminals to exploit automotive services for systematic fraud and murder. Detective Rodriguez and Special Agent Walsh received recognition for their collaborative investigation and became specialists in automotive crime investigation, developing new techniques for identifying fraud operations and protecting vehicle owners from exploitation by criminal automotive professionals. Catherine Sterling and other surviving customers required extensive vehicle inspections and mechanical remediation to overcome the trauma of learning that their trusted mechanic had been systematically sabotaging their vehicles and murdering customers while exploiting his automotive access for organized criminal activities. The automotive repair industry implemented comprehensive new safety protocols designed to protect customers from exploitation by unethical mechanics. The case prompted comprehensive changes in automotive repair regulation, including mandatory drug testing and background checks for all automotive technicians, enhanced oversight of repair work and parts installation, real-time monitoring of vehicle safety systems, and new reporting procedures for suspicious automotive activities involving customer safety or potential fraud indicators. Rick's conviction also led to increased cooperation between automotive industry organizations and law enforcement agencies, investigating organized crime with new protocols designed to identify repair services that might be exploiting their vehicle access for systematic criminal activities while eliminating potential witnesses. The automotive repair and broader transportation industries implemented revolutionary new safety measures, including enhanced screening procedures for mechanics, comprehensive customer protection programs, mandatory reporting of suspicious automotive activities, and improved training for recognizing signs of drug addiction and criminal behavior among automotive professionals. 5 years after Rick's conviction and life imprisonment, Detroit's automotive repair community continued to implement safeguards designed to protect vehicle owners from mechanics who might abuse their positions of trust and mechanical expertise for criminal purposes. The mechanic who had promised to keep vehicles running safely and reliably had instead used his automotive expertise and repair access to commit systematic fraud and murder while exploiting customers' trust and vulnerability during essential vehicle maintenance. However, his crimes had been thoroughly exposed and his victims had found justice through the dedication of investigators who refused to accept vehicle accidents as mere mechanical coincidences. Rick Thompson's final repair had permanently broken down his criminal enterprise, as he faced life imprisonment without possibility of parole, proving that even automotive professionals who attempted to exploit their mechanical expertise for criminal gain could be identified, investigated, and brought to justice when dedicated law enforcement agencies worked together to protect innocent vehicle owners from predatory mechanics. The mechanic's final repair had fixed his fate permanently in the justice system, serving as a lasting reminder that those entrusted with our vehicle safety must never abuse that sacred responsibility, and that automotive professionals who would exploit customer vulnerability for criminal gain will ultimately face the full consequences of their betrayal of mechanical integrity and public safety. Thank you very much for listening. Please let us know what you think of this story in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any other videos.